now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. First for the Trailblazers, Lillard and Matthews pair up in the backcourt. And playing at the center position, one of the Lopez twins out of Stanford, 7-foot banger, Robin Lopez. Then there's Batum, and it's Aldridge in at the 4. And for Washington, Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. And in at center, former NCAA champion of UConn in 2005, Rookie of the Year, a strong-bodied 6'10" Emeka Okafor. Then it's Porter. Then it's Nene in at the 4 spot.
Well, it was an ugly start to the season for the Wizards. Tried to revamp by trading for a host of veterans, but out of the gate, times were tough as they lost their first 12. Eventually got things turned around and were more dangerous when John Wall got healthy.
The difference for the Wizards after Wall came back, as you said, Clark, was just day and night. They were so much more energized and seemed to relish the role of playing the spoiler for a lot of teams, Steve, down the stretch.
Yeah, they look like a playoff team by the end of the year, and that's the challenge this season as we watch this club play it out. I mean, can they stay healthy? Can they continue that hot run that they had at the end of last year, and can that carry over into this one?
Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we've got one here tonight. And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
Something else I think about when I see this guy is he's a real headache to have to defend one-on-one. I mean, he's got all of the game that makes it tough for his defender. He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And that's a foul called on Bradley Beal. That's his first foul. Lillard against Wall. Back to Lillard. This one for 3. And the Trailblazers another 3.
The defense sagged off, and, he did not hesitate to rise up and bury that 3.
Wes Matthews was undrafted out of Marquette back in 2009. But he ended up not only making the team in Utah, but starting as a rookie for the Jazz. He solidified himself as a quality wing in this league, and he's a tough defender who can make the outside shot, and you always know what you're going to get from him at both ends of the floor.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D. I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
And Clark, you talked about the toughness for Wes Matthews until last season. Steve, he had never missed a game.
250 straight games to start his career. He's battled through pain to always try to get the job done for his teammates. One of my favorite players in the league, just a tough, physical player who can knock down threes. What do you want on your squad?
His dad played in the NBA for a while.
That's right.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Clark, this offense has really been clicking.
No doubt about it, giving the defense all kinds of trouble.
And they're playing with so much energy offensively, the ball is really moving.
Robinson, and he throws it down hard with one hand. Well, now they're just going to town on him.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
Inside, he dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden they're throwing some haymakers.
And it's out of bounds to the Wizards as Washington retains possession. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, he kicks to Maynard.
Well, they find themselves with a big deficit here in the first. One category that jumps out at me, second chance points. Only one bucket for them.
The Wizards shooting their first free throws here for the night. And he sinks the second. Now, here's Lillard. He's got 9. Leonard, the pass to Lillard. Williams kicks to right. Williams. And another 3 for Portland. Ariza with it. He gets it up. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through one. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Portland.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific, too, Clark. We're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, you recall around draft night, there were rumors that the Cavaliers were willing to trade both the #1 and #19 picks for LaMarcus Aldridge, but they were rebuffed by Portland. And it's easy to see why the Blazers would be reluctant to part with their franchise big man. But with Aldridge expressing unhappiness in Portland over the summer, you wonder if that's a decision they'll live to regret. Kevin?
No question, Doris. Everyone's got to be invested and on board, or it just doesn't work.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Washington with the ball. They trail by 14. It's Webster outside. They get it back. Nice ball movement by Washington. Poked loose. Maynard kicks to Webster. Ariza. Booker. Guarded by Robinson.
You know, the defense has really affected their offense this quarter. They're shooting around 33-34% for the game. They had a little more success in the first quarter, but so far, not much luck here.
And, you know, a great start for last season's Rookie of the Year, Damian Lillard, assuming the mantle of starting point guard for the Blazers and proving himself more than ready for the task. He played with a poise and maturity that you rarely see in young point guards in the NBA.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. And for Lillard, he came a long way from being a lightly recruited player out of high school and being a star at a small school, Weber State, to the #6 pick in the 2012 draft and a day-one starter for the Blazers.
But, you know, Kevin, he doesn't seem like the guy who's going to be satisfied with just winning Rookie of the Year. He's got more in store. He's got more on his mind, becoming an all-star, becoming a winner. And it's going to be important for him to continue to work on his game and develop.
Well, when we were riding over Matt in the car to the arena, you were saying I love his demeanor.
Yeah, and his work ethic, and just the way he carries himself.
That's an example there, guys, of contesting the shot and corralling the board. That's really all you can ask of a guy at that end of the floor.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
A lot of people felt Otto Porter was the most complete player in this year's draft. You know, it just kind of fits the mold as a small forward. He can shoot, pass, handle the ball, rebound, defends multiple positions. Has the potential to be a very good player in this league.
And back to Porter Clark, a stat sheet stuffer. I'm going to borrow your term there if I can.
No problem.
He can guard multiple positions and gives you steals and rebounds and blocks.
You know, starting out, he may have trouble with strength matchups, but his length should compensate for that, and I think he can cause problems defensively.
That's a good point. Beal. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
And it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
And the foul called on Kevin Seraphin. That is his first foul of the game. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Here's McCollum. It's good from long range. Wizards trail by 11. Porter with it. Williams picks him up. Porter dishes to Harrington. Porter passes to Beal. Kicks to Ariza. Down low, and there's the feed to Porter. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Porter's got 5 points in the quarter.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Lopez is a physical 7-footer, a guy who provides that size inside, and really a high-energy guy. Can get himself into foul trouble because he plays so hard, but you love his aggressiveness.
Yeah, not as skilled offensively as his brother Brook. Robin's more of a lunch pail guy, I think.
You know, guys, Portland had one of the worst benches in the history of the league last season. You know, they didn't get much contribution there. It was almost like they went into every game playing 5 versus 12.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Well, as Clark was talking about when referring to the Blazers, the bench scoring was a big problem for him as they didn't have anyone really outside the starting five that Steve could be counted on for 7 points or more a game.
Yeah, look, the NBA game is 48 minutes long. It's tough to survive for those full 4 quarters when you have no offensive punch off the bench. But I think this offseason they added a lot of firepower, a lot of scoring in reserve. And we'll see if that makes a difference for this team this year.
You know, who says the big guy doesn't like to attack the basket? I mean, could have fooled me on that one.
Yeah, nice change of pace for him to power one home.
Yeah, it's not usually his role, but he takes advantage of the situation there.
And Wall kicks to Porter from the arc. And Damian Lillard pulls it down. Aldridge drives in. And he drops in the layup off the glass. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. There's Beal with the 3. And the first half is now in the books. Trailblaze.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
The fun is beginning.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return to Washington, D.C., a look at the Capitol building overlooking the National Mall. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision-making was really flawless.
That being the case, Steve, I think they want him to be more assertive in the second half. Look to take more shots. Be a little more shot hungry, even the tough ones.
Nice hops and determination that time. Clark to get to the rim.
We know he can bounce, and right there an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a pass to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on 2 more points, expanding the lead in a pretty deflating way for the defense.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Kevin, there's no doubting Damian Lillard is off to a great start in his NBA career and is a great match with LaMarcus Aldridge in the pick-and-roll game. Aldridge, no doubt, happy to have such a ready-made teammate, saying, quote, "The thing that stands out the most is his pace and poise. He has all the tools to be great, and he listens and is trying to grow." Coach Stotts summed it up this way: he's legit. Gentlemen?
An intriguing young talent. Thanks.
Well, the Wizards tied for the lowest scoring in the league last season, guys, and by efficiency, they were the league's worst offense.
Beal, he's covered by Matias. Nene and
Incredible.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark, brilliant throwdown.
Yeah, just exerting his authority out there.
Now a timeout called by Portland. And Portland making a change here. Leonard's checked in. Trailblazers leading by 11. Lillard on top, covered by Wall. Beal with the steal. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. And that's now 9 points here for Beal.
Seemed to be all well and good when John Wall got back to playing about 2 months into last season. But before that, there was a time he was scared he would have to sit out the entire campaign. I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Matthews dishes to Aldridge. Matthews with it. He's picked up by Wall. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession. And going back to Wall, he missed time with the repetitive stress injury, Clark in his left knee.
And that's concerning, Kevin, because that is the launch knee for a right-handed player. I mean, he developed some wear and tear on the cartilage under his left kneecap, and that doesn't regenerate itself, you know. So long-term, it might be a problem because athleticism is a huge part of what John Wall is as a player.
Always has been, you're right. So timeout called here, the first for Washington. Alvin Lopez is checked in for Myers Leonard. We've got 1:18 left to play in the third. Wall attacking. Here's Beal. Lopez with the block. Okafor against Batum. And Aldridge slams it in.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yeah, you got that right.
Wizards trail by 11. Here's Beal. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Beal's got 6 points in the quarter.
They're doing their best to erase the deficit here with some smart passes and some good shooting. I mean, those two things go hand in hand. If you're going to make shots, then the passes have to be on target and on time.
Well, for the Portland Trailblazers, the new training staff hired over from Oklahoma City. They let go of their previous trainer who'd been with the team for 19 seasons. You know, fair or not, I think the seat got hot after all the injuries that were really devastating this team.
And for the Blazers, statistically the most injured team in the NBA, Clark, from 2009 through 2012.
And the new training staff is advanced in not just injury treatment, but injury prevention. And that's key, using strength bands, recording baseline measurements for muscle strength and flexibility, even using Eastern medicine. So they're not leaving any stone unturned.
I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw. The defensive presence was almost non-existent. You know, they may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
A slow start to the season for the Wizards last year, but they were able to rally and turn things around in part because of how they were able to play at home. Winning at home, always the easiest way to jumpstart the streak. Well, you can sense the urgency with them now. I mean, right here, they're flat in the first half. They've come out here in the second half with a lot more fire and a lot more intensity. You can see they're driven to get things done.
And Aldridge, the basket on the assist by Lillard. Lillard's got his 3rd assist on the night.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
And there's the foul. It goes on Wesley Matthews. That's foul number 2 for him. And then Okafor slams it in.
Up high and down hard with the one-hand.
Got a little extra force with that one, didn't he?
You know, I think he's hoping to kind of get his teammates going a little bit, fellas.
And as we end the 3rd quarter, a double. The 4th quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Trailblazers?
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And they're attacking the gaps in the defense with their quick, aggressive drives into the paint area.
And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Okafor's got the first points up on the board here in the 4th for the Wizards. Wall with the steal. Maynard defended by Lillard. Maynard, no good.
You're not doing your team any good forcing a shot like that one.
No, I agree. He's got to know better than that.
Washington making some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Okafor. And Bradley Beal subbed in for John Wall. Now a timeout called by Portland. A different look now for Portland. Robin Lopez is checked in for Myers Leonard. Thomas Robinson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And Mo Williams subbed in for Damian Lillard. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
And it's Emeka Okafor with the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Williams kicks to Matthews. Batum, well, a careless foul, and he'll go to the line for 3 free throws. And Washington called for the foul. It's on Emeka Okafor. And that one misses. He's off on the 2nd. And he misses all three.
You don't see him have too many of those trips to the line.
And the call will go against Thomas Robinson. That'll be his second foul of the game. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Here's Nene. Thomas Robinson with the rebound. Trailblazers leading by 10. Back to Batum. The shot will not go. Excellent D there from Okafor. Lopez with the steal. Portland moving the ball around. Williams kicks to Matias. Batum. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's foul number 2 for him. 1:29 left in the game. Williams passes to Batum. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Portland again missing. Wizards have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Pass to Okafor. Rejected by Matthews. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Wizards will retain possession. Washington calls timeout. They're losing by 10. 1:14 left in the fourth quarter. A different look now for Portland. Myers-Leonard, he's checked in for Lopez. Aldridge comes in for Thomas Robinson. And Darrell Wright has subbed in for Nicholas Batum. Wall, that's good.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. It's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically laying.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 7. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
I'm sure he'd like that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving points at the line.
He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
And the clock is their worst enemy right now.
Yeah, they've got to work very quickly here, Steve.
52 seconds left in the fourth. Pass to Crabbe. Launches a 3, and a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Well, he's trying to get a hand in his face, but you really can't foul a three-point shooter.
You sure can, Steve. I mean, you've got to be able to defend and challenge the 3 without fouling. Now he gets 3 free throws.
And so he's good on all 3 free throws, and that'll push the lead to double digits. The Wizards have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Well, that's good.
Nice play there on that inbounds play, and it paid off with the 3.
Dishes at the limit. Stolen by Serafin. And here we go, the Wizards fast break. Offensive rebound.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
He drops the first one, and that trims the lead to 6. And then Porter drops them both. 30 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now they decide to foul intentionally. Gets the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 7-point game. And Clark, maybe at this point, not much of a chance for a comeback.
I don't think it's going to happen, partner.
Yeah, pretty unlikely to dig out of this hole, but you can't think that way. You got to just play it possession by possession.
Expanding his range, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it. Portland's gone to three-point range 7 times tonight, knocked down 5 of them. Out of bounds, Washington takes possession. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 7. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Well, this one's out of reach, so I'm not sure why they're calling the timeout here. Maybe just to try to work on something, maybe an out-of-bounds play or something.
Well, they might as well talk about what movies they want to see or what they want to surf on the internet, because this one's done, boys.
Now Lillard. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 9-point ball game here.
And you got to think those free throws are the nail in the coffin, guys.
Here's Wall. Sinks the three-pointer. And so it's Portland winning this one. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Damian Lillard.